Hey guys, can you guess where I am? I'm sadly no longer in Japan. I'm now in the frozen wastelands of Canada, and I wanted to make this video for a while to explain to you guys that I will still be uploading videos on Japan. However, I will also be adding North American content into the mix, specifically the west coast of North America. For those of you wanting Japan content, don't worry. There are tons of unedited footage that I have yet to be uploaded. The theme of the content will stay the same though. North America, specifically the west coast, has a lot of abandoned places and retro shopping malls that I have already begun to film and map out. As for how I release content, it will be in no particular order, with Japan content and North American content randomly being added. I want to also do walking tour videos of random iconic places I think you guys will really like. Now, probably many of you are wondering why I left Japan. Well, it is a deep topic that I could spend a whole video on, but I'm going to save that for a future release. However, what I will do is start sharing funny memories and life lessons I learned while living over there that hopefully you find useful, if not comical. So, I remember arriving there around wintertime, late in 2015, fresh out of uni, and ready to start a new life. I fully intended to stay in Japan forever, but as most people know, it doesn't always work out like that. And I really wanted to do well in my new job, which was teaching English. I even learned some Japanese in university, and I thought I could get a head start in communications. How wrong could I have been? The first place I went to was Uniqlo, and I assume most of you know now. Apparently they have one in Vancouver. I was surprised about that. Most of you know is a clothing store based in Japan. And when I went there, for some reason I had felt so extremely shy communicating with the clerk. This was the first time I really had to communicate with somebody who didn't speak English, and my Japanese was shaky. I couldn't understand how much the bill was and frantically looked at the register for the total price. I then nervously opened my wallet, but wasn't really familiar with the currency or the coins, so it further added to the confusion. I was bright red, but ultimately completed the transaction. Success. As time went on and I navigated my new life, communicating with people for daily necessities became a daily occurrence that would be full of new phrases I swear I never learned. So much for my language education, eh? Phrases like "atatame ka?" Would you like it microwaved? Or "nanmei sama desu ka?" How many people? Would be hurled at me, and I would be a hot mess of confusion and would usually answer with "hai" or "yes." And sometimes they were not yes or no questions. I think the crux of hilarity and miscommunications was when I went to my now beloved washoku restaurant, Miyamoto Musashi, basically Japanese fast food. Well, it was a late night and I was tired and hungry from working like 9 hours of nonstop awfulness. And so I went to the local fast food place for some of that delicious katsudon. A Japanese delicacy. I'll explain what that is later, but oh my god, you should have it. I thought that I didn't want to communicate with anybody because I was tired and couldn't think in a foreign language after work. So this choice was safe. You see, in many of these places, you put money into a ticket machine while choosing your meal. You don't have to communicate. And the waitress or waiter just comes and takes your ticket. So it's hassle-free. Or so I thought. When I entered, there was an elderly man who seemed to be having trouble with the machine. I didn't understand what was really going on, so I lined up behind him. And the middle-aged woman who was the cook said something to me in a really deep, strong-sounding Osaka dialect. I didn't understand her at the time, but thinking about it now, I believe she was politely telling me to wait a moment while she helped the elderly man with the machine. Being exhausted, stressed out, and now frightened, I didn't understand at the time and thought she was sounding like angry towards me. Most definitely because of her Osaka dialect, which can sound quite harsh even to Japanese speakers. So, I instinctively left the restaurant in confusion. Not long after, the middle-aged lady came out of the restaurant and seemed to feel bad for me and politely told me I can come in and order my food, but I was so tired, confused, and a little embarrassed at this point because there's other people there at this time. So I brokenly told her, "Oh, I don't have time. I need to go back home to sleep soon." She seemed really apologetic, and in hindsight, this was just a bad case of communication. Kind of funny to think about now. Well, after that, I ended up going to 7-Eleven and buying a bento or lunchbox and kept doing this for the next few nights. As hilarious as it was, these moments of miscommunication really pushed me to keep trying to learn and get used to speaking Japanese. And did I ever conquer this problem? I went from not understanding how to ask for my food to be microwaved in the convenience store to being able to talk to my doctor fully in Japanese about complex medical symptoms or making hotel reservations, etc., etc. Point being, it's these moments of adversity that really help you grow. And if you work hard enough, you can ultimately achieve what you want in life, including learning the hardest language in the world. Perhaps some of you guys have experienced similar things while traveling, living abroad, communicating in a different language. If so, please share them. I would love to read them in the comment section. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Do me a solid and hit the like and subscribe for more Japan stories and abandoned places and dead mall content. Well, I think it's time for another Honkirin. I promise I'm not endorsed by them. Wish I could be, though. That'd be awesome. Cheers.